was out one night and met this guy, and we just had so much chemistry, we hit it off, but he lived in a different state. So we'd speak on the phone every night, we just kept talking, and then eventually after speaking for probably a month, I flew over and spent the weekend with him. Anyway, another month went by where we were communicating all the time. I flew over again to see him, he introduced me to his sister, he introduced me to his best mates. He was supposed to be flying in on the Friday night after work, we'd spoken, it was all set up. On the Wednesday night, he seemed a bit off, and I was like, are you all good? He's like, yeah, all good. Yeah, I've done nothing wrong, but I'll call you tomorrow and explain. That's the last I heard of him. He never replied to another message, he deleted me off social media, and I still don't get.
Well, sweetie, allow me to mansplain it to you. You see, Chad had his fun, and then probably found some more fun that was closer to home. But you know what happens to these girls after a few years of Chad chasing? Pretty much this.
What do you bring to the table?
Everything. I got 2 kids, you know what I mean? So everything. If you're willing to provide for my kids, then everything.
Everything like what?
My kids, my life, my mental health, everything, like everything. Everything you want to know about me, I'll bring to the table, for sure.
And this gentleman is your cue to step up, be a man, and raise Chad's children. But personally, I would rather polish my eggplant with sandpaper.
Oh, that's nasty.
But if you have an Android phone, a red flag. Red flag immediately. Android phone, off.
You would give up the love of your life because of text messages are green.
First of all, if he's love of my life, I wouldn't. Plus, I wouldn't, if he's love of my life, no. But at first glance, I'd be like, Android phone?
So, you're saying you refuse to date any men who don't have iPhones?
I see this as an absolute win.
Leave me alone, please leave me alone. Leave me alone, please leave me alone.
Ironic.
Bruh.
Thing that's hardest for me to live with now is the stigma of having done and knowing that I can run, but I can't hide from it. No matter where I go, everyone knows, everyone's seen me get. I just have to do the best that I can with it. And it's like having, I feel like I have a life sentence over my head at 24. Like, I'm always going to be Lana Rhoades. I'm always going to be, no matter how bad I don't want to be. What? No matter how bad I don't want to be.
Why did you start doing?
I never know the answer to that question.
Really?
I just one day I think I was 14 and I just got the idea and I was like, I'm gonna do that.
No way. But
Yeah.
surely you were.
How's that possible?
Weren't you conscious of what people would think of it? Like, you happened to come out successful.
I feel like I knew that I was going to be, though. Just at 14, I was just like, you're gonna be the number one. Do it.
She belongs to the street.
But sweetie, don't worry your pretty little head. That stigma that you're talking about doesn't really count as much as it used to. Hell, I bet you could even be vice president one day if you try hard enough.
Come on, man.
I mean, it happened before.
Being a stay-at-home mom is not a job whatsoever. It's a privilege.
For you. You're right, it is a privilege. For you.
Bullshit. I was laid off of work for 4 months and I had to stay home, and it's the easiest I've ever done in my life.
I think it's important to stop the video here and point out
that you have wonderfully manicured nails. How manly of you.
From what I gathered, this guy is single and without children. That's the comparison he's basing this on.
In fact, I got bored. I can do all the daily responsibilities that come with taking care of a house in no time. And then other than that, all you have to do is watch your kid.
Is that it? You just gotta watch your kid? Single man living in a studio apartment who thinks that wiping and taking care of himself by himself gives you authority to tell parents, and specifically moms, how easy it is to raise a child effectively?
Well, comrade, to quote Heisenberg, you're goddamn right I have the authority. Wanna know why? Because I have a mom, and I used to be a kid. And I remember how my parents did the whole family and parenting thing. Guess what? Both my parents had jobs when I was a kid. And I learned how to make a sandwich when I was in kindergarten. I learned how to use a broom when I was in the 1st grade. I learned how to cook when I was in the 3rd grade. And around that time, I also learned how to hand wash, not machine wash, my clothes and iron them. See, I didn't need my mom to stay at home and watch me because my parents taught me how to be self-sufficient. So yeah, comrade, from my experience being raised by 2 working parents, the whole "I'm gonna be a stay-at-home mom to take care of the kids" is an excuse to be lazy.
How dare!
But the thing is, it's not just an excuse to be lazy. It can also be a major hindrance to that kid's development. Because if mommy does everything, and he never needs to learn to be self-sufficient, he's not going to be able to function properly by himself as an adult. And you know what that leads to? Women complaining on TikTok that men don't want wives, they want mothers. While at the same time, they want to be stay-at-home moms because it's a man's job to provide and protect, and if you have to split bills with him, he's not a real man.
Just like a woman.
If you don't see the issue here, comrade, by all means, go back to painting your nails.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.